Is your relationship draining your energy instead of filling you up? Find out why he doesn't value you and how to walk away with your dignity and self-respect intact.
We need to be better about walking away from people who do not choose us, who do not value us, who do not consider us, who are not interested in us, who do not care to have us in their lives. As soon as they show us that they do not want us, we need to walk away, run away as fast as possible. We need to be better and quicker about removing ourselves from situations, from people who do not want us in their lives. Why are we sitting here trying to beg someone, trying to prove our worth to someone who does not see it? If they don't value you, they don't belong in your life. If they don't want you, they don't belong in your life. Why are we sitting here trying to convince someone to pick us? If you are an adult, you get to choose all of your relationships. You get to choose the people that you have in your life. So why would you choose someone who doesn't choose you? It only makes you feel bad about yourself. It only makes you feel like you are unworthy, like you are undeserving, like you are not enough. Why would you choose to have someone in your circle who is draining your energy, who is not lifting you up, who's not building you up? There's no reason. Choose people who choose you. And as soon as they don't choose you, walk away, leave them alone. Be okay with removing yourself from their life because they do not care whether you stay or go. So go. Leave with your dignity, leave with your self-respect, and be around people who make you feel good, who make you feel like you belong, who really treasure your presence. Just choose people who choose you.
Relationship values. It seems like many of us today have lost sight of what's important in a relationship to make it successful. So what do you value in a relationship? What is important to you in a relationship? Because if you're not clear on what's important to you in a relationship, how can you expect someone else to show up and fulfill those needs? Or how can you attract a person into your life who has the same relationship values as you? And then what is it that you bring to a relationship? Because often we'll look to the other person and blame the other person on how they're showing up. But what is it that you're offering and how are you showing up in the relationship? Now, this is where the role of the masculine and the feminine is so very important in a relationship, because the role of the masculine man in a relationship is entirely different to the role of a feminine woman. But then there are the joint sort of traits or joint aspects of a relationship that both need to present for it to be successful. Things such as love, effort, and respect.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Black Tea Podcast. Today we're diving even deeper into a crucial topic, understanding your value as a woman in relationships. As conservative Christian women, it's so important to approach relationships not just with our hearts, but also with wisdom, discernment, and a firm understanding of our inherent worth. This worth isn't defined by fleeting emotions or societal pressures, but is deeply rooted in our faith and our identity as daughters of God. I've observed a concerning trend, even within our Christian circles. There's this subtle, sometimes not so subtle message that a man's desire for you is the ultimate validation. But I want to emphasize, with all the conviction I can muster, that desire and genuine value are not interchangeable. A man might be physically attracted to you, shower you with initial attention, or even express a longing to be with you. However, this initial want doesn't automatically translate into him recognizing your inherent worth as a person, your spiritual depth, or his readiness to commit to a God-centered, respectful, and lasting relationship. We, as women, must be able to discern this critical difference, for settling for mere want can lead down a path of heartbreak, emotional manipulation, and a significantly diminished sense of self-worth. It can leave you feeling used, unappreciated, and further away from the fulfilling relationship that God intends for you. We need to be grounded in the truth of our value, which comes from Him, before we even consider entering into a serious relationship. So the crucial question then becomes, how can you, as a discerning Christian woman, truly know if a man genuinely values you beyond just expressing a superficial desire? Here are some key indicators that I've been reflecting on, drawing from both my personal experiences, the wisdom I've gleaned from the sources, and, most importantly, the unchanging truth of God's Word. Consistency as the foundation of trust. A man who genuinely values you will demonstrate consistency in his words, actions, and behavior over time. He won't just make promises, he'll diligently follow through on them. building a solid foundation of trust. This consistency extends to all areas of the relationship, from keeping his word to being reliable in times of need. Do not make excuses for inconsistent behavior, chalking it up to him being busy or stressed. Instead, pay close attention to patterns, as these reveal his true character and level of commitment. Don't fall into the trap of thinking you can change him or mold him into the man you desire. Active listening and respectful communication. A man who values you will make a conscious effort to listen attentively to your thoughts, feelings, and opinions, even when they differ from his own. He won't dismiss your concerns, constantly interrupt you, or make you feel as though you're a nuisance or your voice doesn't matter. In a healthy, Christ-centered relationship, both partners feel genuinely heard, understood, and respected for their individual perspectives. He will create a safe space where you can express yourself openly and honestly, without fear of judgment or ridicule. Nurturing the relationship as a sacred garden. It's not solely about extravagant displays of affection or grand sweeping gestures. It's about the consistent, everyday effort to nurture the bond between you, tending to it like a sacred garden. He will show genuine appreciation for the things you do, both big and small, and will express gratitude for your presence in his life. He'll offer sincere affirmations, verbally acknowledging your strengths and qualities, and will make it abundantly clear that he feels blessed and fortunate to have you as his partner. Respecting boundaries as an act of love. A man who truly values you will unfailingly respect your boundaries, both physical and emotional. He won't pressure you into engaging in any activity or conversation that makes you feel uncomfortable or compromises your values. He'll honor your need for personal space, both physically and emotionally, and will never attempt to manipulate or control you. He will respect your no and understand that it is a complete sentence. Rejecting disrespect as a poisonous influence. Some of the most glaring signs of not being valued in a relationship include actions like cheating, blatant disrespect, emotional manipulation, and deliberate isolation. Do not attempt to rationalize or minimize these red flags. Instead, recognize them for what they are, warning signs that this relationship is not aligned with God's plan for your life. Have the courage to walk away from situations and people who diminish your worth and compromise your well-being. Now, I feel it's necessary to address a topic that has gained significant traction in contemporary discussions about relationships, one that demands a careful, discerning perspective. There's a lot of talk circulating about feminine energy, and the notion that mastering it will somehow magically cause men to chase you and become obsessed. While I wholeheartedly agree that cultivating a gentle, nurturing, and supportive spirit is an admirable quality, especially for Christian women, seeking to reflect the love and grace of Christ, we must exercise extreme caution so that it doesn't devolve into a manipulative tactic. The goal shouldn't be to strategically deploy feminine energy to control or manipulate a man's behavior, but to become the woman God has uniquely called you to be, radiating his unconditional love, demonstrating grace, and establishing healthy boundaries that protect your heart and spirit. As women, according to the sources, our value comes from more intangible qualities, such as how we make our man feel, uplift him, and support him. Are you building him up with your words? Are you someone he can confide in and trust implicitly? Our primary focus should always be on aligning ourselves with God's will, cultivating inner strength, and seeking personal growth through prayer, studying the scriptures, and engaging in meaningful service. When you genuinely embody these Christ-like qualities, you will naturally attract men who appreciate and value you for the entirety of who you are, your heart, mind, and spirit, not merely for what you can offer them or how well you perform. Some prescribed notion of feminine energy. Ladies, I want to be unequivocally clear about something. You are inherently valuable in the eyes of God. Your worth is not contingent upon your relationship status, your physical appearance, or your accomplishments. You don't need to prove your worth to anyone, least of all to a man who is blind to the incredible gift that you are. If a man consistently fails to see your value, if he treats you with disrespect, or if he consistently prioritizes his own needs and desires above yours, that is undeniably his profound loss, not a reflection of your inadequacy. Have the courage to walk away from relationships that diminish your spirit and seek out someone who genuinely cherishes you for the remarkable woman that you are. Unwavering knowledge of your worth. Possess an unshakable understanding of what you bring to the table in any relationship. Your unwavering faith, your strong moral character, your unique talents and abilities, and your capacity for unconditional love. Refuse to settle for anything less than a relationship that honors your worth and allows you to flourish as the woman God created you to be. Unapologetically, high standards. Don't be afraid to set your standards exceptionally high, not in a superficial or materialistic sense, but in terms of character, mutual respect, shared values rooted in faith, and an unwavering commitment to building a Christ-centered partnership. Prioritizing yourself as an act of self-love. Make a conscious decision to prioritize your own well-being, physical, emotional, mental, and, most importantly, spiritual, and actively pursue personal growth independent of any romantic relationship. Fill your life with purpose, passion, and joy, engaging in activities that bring you closer to God and allow you to use your gifts to serve others. Ultimately, dear sisters, our true and enduring value originates from God alone. We are fearfully and wonderfully made in His perfect image, each of us possessing unique gifts and talents meant to be used for His glory. When we are firmly grounded in the knowledge of our worth in Christ, we will never settle for anything less than a relationship that honors Him in every way and cherishes us as the precious daughters He has created us to be. That's all the time we have for today's episode. I sincerely hope that this discussion has encouraged you to thoughtfully reflect on your relationships and to embrace a deeper understanding of your true value as a woman of God. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Black Tea Podcast for more faith-filled conversations. And please share your thoughts in the comments below. What qualities do you value most in a relationship? Until our next steeping session, remain steadfast in your faith and keep steeping.